Hello again everyone, so we're doing our second S.P.A.G revision video and it is focusing on informal and formal language. Year 6 have recapped and revised this most recently with your last writing assessment on the bunker. Year 5, 7 and 8, again really important for you to make sure that you're keeping up with revision and confident with the difference between formal and informal language and not just writing assessments. We absolutely need to know the difference in terms of our spoken communication and language when you should and shouldn't be using one of the different types of language use, formal or informal, and also for our written language as well. For instance, when you're older, applying for jobs, making sure that you are selecting the correct formality. One of our greater depth writing skills is being able to adapt and tweak that. So for your greater depth in year 6 and onwards, making sure that you're looking at using formality. You can switch formality. Maybe you can write a story where your narrator is very formal, but then you have a very informal character, and you show your knowledge, your ability to change formality in a really secure, really interesting and exciting way for your reader. Okay, so formal and informal language. So we'll start with formal. Formal language is most commonly used when we don't know someone, for instance, we speak formally, or if they have a particular position of power or a particular position in society. So if you think, if you were having an interview, so when I had my interview at Alameda, I spoke formally because I didn't know the people that I was speaking to for a start. They weren't my friends, so I didn't know them in that sense. They're not my family, so I don't know them in that sense. But equally, they have a particular position of power. They are able to offer me a job. So speaking formally shows a level of respect because you're recognising that actually they have that position of authority, power or responsibility. You think, if you meet the Queen, if you went up and you said, all right, mate, and didn't actually recognise through your formality her position in society, that may come across as disrespectful or not appropriate for that situation. So formal language we use to show that. Now, if you look at informal, we look at this prefix. I've tried to highlight it, not very well. I'll do that differently next time. Informal, we look at this prefix in. If you think about the word incorrect, what does in as a prefix there tell us? So incorrect means not correct. So in means not. So we've got formal, informal, not formal. Now, informal language we probably use, I would say, more than formal language day to day. So if you think when you're talking to your friends and your family, some of those words that you would use like hey or right, they're informal, and that's because we know that person. We're chatty, it's more conversational. We use it more, say, when we're sending a text to someone that we know, and absolutely on the playground or at home when you're speaking to people that you know, that you socialise with. So that's the main difference between formal and informal language. I'm just going to come back down to my computer because I've got my examples saved here. So what I want you to do, wherever you are, whether that's in your living room or your dining room, your bedroom, wherever you happen to be, I want you to choose one side that's going to be formal and one side that's going to be informal, because I'm going to get you to move around a little bit for this task. So one side of your room is going to be where you'll move to if you think something is formal. The other side is where you'll move to if you think the sentence is informal. So make that choice where you're going to move to. Okay, hopefully you've decided. So the first sentence is, that burger was fab. Is that formal or informal? That burger was fab. Move to the room. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully you are stood by informal. That burger was fab. Can you quickly say the word that makes that sentence informal out loud to yourself or to whoever else is in the room? It is fab. Hopefully you've picked that out. So fab, fabulous would be more formal, wouldn't it? Fab, again, quite conversational. It's what we'd say maybe to friends or family. Second sentence, get ready to move, potentially. I cannot come out to play football with you tonight. I cannot come out to play football with you tonight. Formal or informal? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now that may be something that we're saying to a friend, so maybe you've had that conversation in your head. Is that informal? But that's actually formal because we've used cannot. When we're speaking informally, we tend to use contractions, so I can't come out to play football with you tonight would be informal. So that's actually formal because we haven't used that contraction, even though we may be saying that to someone that we socialise with. Let's do this one. My sister is doing English at uni. My sister is doing English at uni. Is that formal or informal? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hopefully you are stood with informal. My sister is doing English at uni. Now there's two things actually in that sentence that make it informal. Can you say aloud, either to yourself or the person who you're with, what are the two words that make that sentence informal? My sister is doing English at uni.